Fellow Predator nerds, gather round. I've just come back from a rare bit of London sunshine. Yes, we do get it sometimes. And I couldn't help but think, while sipping a cold lager, what on earth is Dan Trachtenberg doing to this franchise we love? Now, before you roll your eyes and go, ugh, another nostalgia rant, let me just say this. It's not about wanting a carbon copy of 1987. It's about understanding the DNA of Predator, the code, the mystique, the balance of intelligence, savagery, and silence. And Dan, well, he's directing with crayons in a world that was painted in blood. Let's hop back to where it all began. Predator 1987, starring the big man himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and featuring the greatest monster design ever put to film. Yes, I said it, the Alien Queen can have a runner up medal. This film didn't just introduce us to a new alien, it introduced us to a culture, a warrior code, a terrifying, calculating being that chose to fight humans for the sport of it. Jungle Hunter didn't kill everyone in sight. He watched, he studied, he picked off the strongest, the cockiest, and left the unarmed. He moved through the trees like a ghost. We barely saw him, and when we did, we knew Dutch had earned that final showdown. The biomask removal, that wasn't just a face reveal, it was a challenge, a declaration of mutual respect, a you've earned this beating. It wasn't about muscles or explosions, it was about honor and the thrill of the hunt. Now, fast forward to 2022 and Dan Trachtenberg's Prey. Everyone praised it as a return to form, but look beyond the surface and you'll see the cracks. At first glance, sure, it feels like Predator again, the wilderness setting, the silent hunter, a protagonist with something to prove. But once you really examine what Dan's doing to the Predator itself, the wheels fall off completely. Let's start with the feral Predator. The head design, rubbish. Looked like a boiled eel. The infamous bone mask. It's meant to be primitive, but instead it looked like clip on cosplay over a CGI face. It stripped away the menace and made the unmasking moment, a core tradition of Predator lore, feel meaningless. There was no impact, just, oh look, CGI mouth tentacles again. Now on to behaviour. This creature apparently comes from a more primitive era, but can still cloak, use guided weapons, and was clearly trained in John Wick's dojo. It starts off well, testing itself on local wildlife. Snakes, wolves, a bear, alright, cool. Then suddenly it's going full Call of Duty, taking out hordes of Frenchmen like it's trying to speed run the map. Where's the strategy? Where's the elegance? Where's the intelligence? And let's not ignore the final fight. The predator, a species known for only engaging the strongest for valuing the hunt, gets outwitted and killed by someone who, with all due respect to Naru, shouldn't have been its final test. It wasn't earned. There was no mutual respect, no sense of finality, just another clumsy female empowerment moment that, ironically, felt more insulting to both women and the predator than empowering. Alien nailed that balance, Prey did not. Let's get one thing straight, predator law matters. And Dan is shattering it like a dropped pint glass. The honor code, ignored. The ceremonial nature of hunting, lost. The tech scaling makes zero sense. If this is a primitive predator, how is it tracking targets like Iron Man with a bone mask? How is it still cloaking and firing homing projectiles? And the excuses don't wash anymore. Oh, it's a different clan. It's a young blood. It's experimental. Number, that's not storytelling. That's patchwork. In Prey, we didn't get a hunter. We got a glorified action villain with a cool gimmick and no soul. A glorified mini boss in a video game whose only real job is to look dangerous until it's time to die in the third act. Now let's talk killer of killers and Badlands, and who knows what else Dan's cooking. And it's clear he's not just misunderstanding the Predator, he's trying to Marvelify it, a multiverse of Yautja, Predator Colosseums, jet bikes, swords, Weyland connections, a robot sidekick probably. I wouldn't be shocked if a talking dog showed up next. Dan seems desperate to build a Predator cinematic universe, but in doing so, he's obliterating the minimalist primal terror that made the original work. The Warlord Predator, massive, over-designed, clunky, looking more like a Mortal Kombat boss. And Deck, he looks like CGI dog shit. Also, the female synthetic is clearly a Poundland version of Bishop. The scale's gone, the tone's gone, the atmosphere vanished. What we have left is high tech sludge wearing the skin of a once proud franchise. Look, I'll give credit where it's due. Prey had moments. It was beautifully shot. Some of the ideas, the pistol callback, the animal testing concept, were clever. But Dan Trachtenberg doesn't understand what makes a predator tick. He's building a playground when the predator world should feel like a battlefield, tense, quiet, and deadly. The predator shouldn't be a sword swinging action figure. It shouldn't be a Marvel character with a tragic backstory. It shouldn't be dying in ridiculous ways to prove how smart a human is. It should be a mystery, a shadow, a thinking, breathing, dangerous creature that makes you sweat when you hear the clicking sound. But under Dan's guidance, it's becoming a Saturday morning cartoon. And if we keep going this route, what's next? Baby Yautja gets adopted by Jonathan and Martha Kent. So, what do you think? Am I mad or am I bang on the money here? Does Dan get it at all, or is he butchering the mythos we all grew up loving? Drop your thoughts in the comments, give it a like if you agree, and hit subscribe for more Predator. Until next time.